Welcome to our channel where the smallest coins can tell the biggest stories and where an ordinary penny can turn out to be worth a fortune. Today we're diving deep into one of the most astonishing mysteries in the world of numismatics, the incredible case of the 1987 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that is reportedly valued as high as $36 million not for its face value, but for the astonishing errors, historical significance, and rare production mistakes that have made it one of the most desirable and enigmatic coins among collectors and investors alike. So sit back and get ready to explore a journey filled with minting anomalies, historical quirks, and the fascinating reasons why a humble 1987 penny could be worth more than a luxury mansion. Because the story behind this coin isn't just about copper and zinc, it's about how a rare blend of human error, mechanical missteps, and collector obsession can create something truly priceless. And as we delve into the depths of what makes this coin so special, we begin by examining the context of the 1987 penny, a coin minted in the latter part of the 20th century, at a time when the United States Mint had already transitioned from the traditional 95% copper composition of earlier pennies to a predominantly zinc core with a thin copper plating, a cost-saving measure that had been in place since 1982, and yet despite this shift, certain examples of the 1987 penny have surfaced that appear to defy the standard materials, with some experts and collectors reporting 1987 cents that are significantly heavier than their zinc counterparts, weighing closer to the older copper standard of 3.11 grams, and this discrepancy alone raises numerous questions about how and why such errors could occur, because the minting process is usually tightly controlled. But history has shown us time and again that even the most secure systems can suffer from oversight, and these rare examples, whether struck on leftover copper planchets, experimental metal stock, or misidentified blanks, immediately command immense interest in the market, particularly because the composition anomaly is just one of many compelling features found in the rarest and most valuable 1987 1-cent coins. Four others have been discovered with severe die errors, misalignments, doubled dies, off-center strikes, brockage errors, and even combinations of these, with one of the most famous examples showing a dramatic off-center strike that leaves part of the Lincoln portrait incomplete while simultaneously exhibiting doubling on the date and lettering, creating a surreal, almost ghostly effect that fascinates collectors who know just how rare it is to find a coin with multiple high-level errors in one specimen. And what makes the 1987 penny even more intriguing is the possibility that certain errors were caused not by accident but potentially by unusual events within the minting process itself, such as leftover dies from previous years or special test strikes escaping quality control. For example, some coins show partial impressions from reverse dies used in other denominations, hinting at the theoretical but sensational possibility of mule errors. Coins struck with dies from two different denominations, which are among the rarest and most valuable coins in existence. And while no officially verified 1987 mule penny has been confirmed, reports and rumors continue to circulate in the numismatic community about unconfirmed examples seen in private collections or found in circulation, lending an air of mystery and excitement to the chase for the ultimate 1987 error cent. And then there are the so-called ghost dates or phantom mint marks, where the date or mint mark appears to be missing or only partially struck, which could result from grease-filled dies or worn equipment. But regardless of the cause, collectors view these anomalies as unique snapshots of the minting process gone awry, and depending on the clarity and extent of the error, some of these ghost date pennies can fetch thousands or even tens of thousands at auction, especially when authenticated and graded by trusted third-party grading services like PCGS or NGC, who evaluate the quality, error type, rarity, and overall preservation of each coin, adding yet another layer of complexity and prestige to the process. And let's not forget about the visual appearance of these error coins, because many of them show incredible contrast in the texture and coloration due to plating bubbles, lamination peels, and planchet flaws, which can create mesmerizing patterns and surfaces that further distinguish these coins from ordinary strikes. And in some rare instances, these flaws combine with high-grade preservation to create what are known as mint state or proof-like errors, coins that despite their glaring mistakes still maintain a brilliant luster and sharp details that appeal to both investors and collectors alike. And the stories behind their discovery are often just as compelling, such as the tale of a Midwestern man who stumbled across a suspiciously heavy 1987 penny while rolling coins at his kitchen table and later had it weighed and authenticated, only to learn that he had in his possession one of the only known copper-based 1987 cents, a fluke of history that transformed a mundane coin roll into a million-dollar discovery. Or the account of a teenage collector who found a dramatic misaligned die error penny from 1987 in pocket change and later sold it for six figures at auction, all of which highlight the enduring allure of error coins and how even the most unassuming objects can contain untold value when history, rarity, and chance collide. And as interest in rare coins continues to explode thanks to social media, YouTube channels like this one, and passionate online communities, the spotlight on obscure coins like the 1987 penny continues to grow, with collectors eager to learn the telltale signs of valuable errors and to explore their own collections for hidden treasures. And in the case of the 1987 cent, the rumors of coins containing double dies on both obverse and reverse, partial clad layers, mismatched planchets, and even transitional errors, where the coin might have been struck using specifications from a different year, all add to the mythos of this tiny but potent piece of American history. And with auction results in the tens of thousands for some examples and private sales rumored to reach into the millions for verified multiple error coins, it becomes clear that the 1987 1-cent coin represents much more than just a small copper disc. It symbolizes the unpredictable and endlessly fascinating world of coin collecting, where value is created not just from rarity but from stories, context, and the thrill of the hunt. And the idea that such coins could be sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, or coin rolls across the country adds to the excitement, as every collector dreams of discovering that one-in-a-million piece. And that dream continues to fuel a thriving market where errors that were once dismissed as curiosities are now coveted as treasures. And as we consider the broader historical backdrop of 1987, a year marked by global economic changes, political shifts, and technological advancements, we realize that even the production of a coin carries echoes of its era, with the minting technology of the time being more prone to certain types of mechanical slip-ups compared to today's high-precision equipment, and that very imperfection is what gives older error coins their charm and mystique. And when you pair those imperfections with the human element, the engravers, the press operators, the inspectors, it becomes a recipe for accidental genius, because every once in a while, all the wrong things happen in just the right way to produce a coin that defies logic, convention, and valuation. And the 1987 penny is exactly that, a fluke of history transformed into a legend, a 1-cent piece with a price tag of $36 million, not because of gold or diamonds, but because of rare combinations of composition errors, die clashes, mistrikes, and perhaps most importantly, the passionate demand of a global community of collectors who recognize its significance. And so as you examine your own change or consider starting your own numismatic journey, remember that value can hide in plain sight, and that the next great coin discovery might be in your very own pocket. So if you enjoyed diving into this extraordinary story and want to explore more hidden treasures in the world of coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next unbelievable tale from the history of American currency. Next. Today we bring you a story so fascinating, so unexpected, and so deeply rooted in numismatic curiosity that it might just inspire you to dig through your old jars of pennies or take a second look at that forgotten piggy bank, because we are diving deep into the remarkable tale of the 2001 1-cent coin from the United States, a coin that might appear ordinary at first glance, carrying the familiar image of Abraham Lincoln and the Denver Mint mark, but has been discovered to harbor such extraordinary minting mistakes and production anomalies that certain specimens have reportedly reached jaw-dropping valuations of up to $15 million. And while this may sound surreal, the world of rare error coins is anything but predictable. So let us explore together the intricate details, the subtle cues, and the mysterious circumstances that could transform a single penny minted in the early 21st century into one of the most sought-after and expensive coins in the world. Because the truth is, coins are more than currency, they are artifacts of our collective history, each carrying the fingerprint of its time, its production process, and sometimes, its imperfections. And in the case of the 2001 Lincoln cent, we begin with the basics. Minted at the Denver Mint in Colorado, this coin was part of the standard issue circulating pennies, produced from copper-plated zinc blanks that had been the norm since the major composition change in 1982, and yet among the billions struck that year, a handful have stood out for reasons that continue to amaze experts, collectors, and investors alike, starting with one of the most talked about categories in coin collecting, double dies, because a double die error occurs when the coin die itself, the engraved tool used to stamp a coin, has a misalignment during its creation, causing a ghost-like doubling effect on certain features of the coin when it's used in production. And several 2001 cents have been found with dramatic doubling visible in areas such as the word Liberty, the date, and most compellingly, Abraham Lincoln's profile. And when this doubling is crisp, clear, and pronounced, the desirability of the coin skyrockets due to its visibility and rarity. But this is just the beginning, as other significant errors have been reported in 2001 cents that defy expectations, including off-center strikes, where the coin is not properly aligned during striking and ends up with a portion of the design missing or skewed dramatically to one side, and the more off-center the strike while still retaining a visible date and mint mark, the more valuable the coin becomes, with some examples featuring over 50% off-center designs that create surreal visuals of a misprinted America. These errors are exceedingly rare in modern mints, which are highly automated and precise, making their occurrence all the more shocking and sought after. And then there are the broad strikes and die caps, where coins are struck without the collar that normally shapes the edge, leading to wider, flatter coins that almost resemble ancient currency, and when this happens in conjunction with an off-center or double strike, you get a truly one-of-a-kind error that pushes the limits of what collectors thought possible from a Denver minted penny. And speaking of one-of-a-kind, another jaw-dropping discovery that has added to the lore of the 2001 cent is the presence of transitional errors, which occur when a coin is struck on a blank intended for a different year or denomination, and while rare, there have been credible reports and authenticated examples of 2001 cents struck on foreign planchets or on blanks intended for other U.S. coins, such as dimes or even steel blanks from outdated wartime coinage, and the moment a coin is confirmed to be a transitional error, it jumps in value immensely due to the logistical improbability of such a mistake making it through multiple levels of quality control, and even more fascinating are the 2001 cents discovered with missing or improperly applied copper plating, revealing the bright zinc core beneath, resulting in a two-tone appearance that is visually striking and numismatically significant, and in some extreme cases, the entire coin appears silver-like due to total absence of the copper layer, a result of either a minting anomaly or improper material sourcing, both of which can turn an otherwise common coin into a collector's dream. And when you combine these kinds of errors, double die, off-center, broad strike, transitional, missing plating, into a single coin, the value can easily climb into 6 or even 7 figures depending on the condition, provenance, and uniqueness of the piece, and that is exactly what seems to have happened with one of the most famous examples of the 2001 penny, a coin now reportedly valued at $15 million due to the fact that it possesses an extremely rare combination of multiple error types. Preserved in near-mint condition, and supported by authentication from top grading agencies, and while the exact chain of events that led to this coin's creation is still debated, what's certain is that it passed through an improbable gauntlet of production mistakes, survived the minting process, entered circulation, and was ultimately pulled by a sharp-eyed collector who recognized its potential. And beyond the mechanical mistakes, another layer of intrigue surrounds the 2001 cent due to anecdotal reports of experimental mint runs during that time period, as the mint was known to be testing new processes, anti-counterfeit measures, and alloy tolerances at various points in the early 2000s, and although most of these tests were done under controlled conditions, there's always the possibility that experimental blanks or dies were accidentally mixed into general circulation batches, which might explain some of the truly anomalous specimens that have surfaced. And while these theories are difficult to prove without internal mint documentation, the physical evidence presented by these coins, confirmed through metallurgical testing, microscopic examination, and expert appraisal, suggests that something highly unusual did occur in the production lines in Denver during that time, and the market has responded accordingly, with auction prices for rare 2001 error cents climbing steadily over the last decade, as more collectors and investors become aware of their existence and potential, and the stories of ordinary people stumbling upon these coins add another layer of charm and accessibility to the legend, such as the schoolteacher who discovered an off-metal 2001 penny while helping her students with a coin-counting exercise, or the retired Army veteran who found one in a parking lot and later sold it to a private collector for a staggering 7-figure sum. And these stories, though rare, underscore the timeless thrill of discovery that drives the numismatic community and keeps the legend of the 2001 penny alive and well. And let's not forget the grading process, an essential step in verifying and protecting the value of these error coins, where third-party organizations use a meticulous evaluation process to determine the authenticity, grade, and population of the coin in question. And for high-end 2001 errors, certification from PCGS or NGC not only legitimizes the find but also opens the door to high-profile auctions, private sales, and long-term investment potential, with some collectors even forming entire portfolios around rare error coins due to their historical significance, liquidity, and potential for appreciation. And when you factor in that billions of pennies are still in circulation and that only a microscopic fraction exhibit the extreme errors seen in the 2001 $15 million example, It becomes clear that owning one of these coins is like holding a lottery ticket punched by history, chance, and metallurgy all at once. And as we continue to explore these remarkable coins, it's worth remembering that behind every legendary coin is a story of overlooked details, mechanical flaws, and improbable outcomes that remind us how even the smallest items can carry immense weight in value and meaning. And so whether you're a seasoned numismatist, a casual collector, or someone who simply enjoys uncovering the hidden wonders of our everyday world, let the tale of the 2001 D1 cent coin inspire you to look a little closer, dig a little deeper, and perhaps uncover a small piece of history that could change your life forever. So if you found this journey into the world of rare pennies as fascinating as we did, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and click the bell icon so you don't miss our next incredible story about coins worth millions that may be hiding right in your pocket. Today, we are diving deep into a tale that combines mystery, error, history, and astronomical value all embedded into the surface of a single copper-plated piece of American currency, the extraordinary 1996 United States 1-cent coin, a coin that has shocked collectors, thrilled auction houses, and redefined what a penny can be worth, because this isn't just any penny. This is a coin that has been valued at a staggering $31 million, not for its age or a precious metal content, but purely because of the unique and nearly impossible minting errors, production mistakes, and rare anomalies that transformed it from a standard circulating coin into a once-in-a-lifetime find, a numismatic unicorn, a true treasure in every sense of the word. And as we peel back the layers of this incredible story, you'll begin to see how such a small coin could hold such massive value. And it all starts with understanding what makes coins collectible in the first place, and how the smallest deviations from standard minting procedures can send shockwaves through the collecting world, especially when those deviations are multiple, visible, authenticated, and tied to a coin minted in vast numbers but with only one or two examples surfacing that possess the exact combination of freakish and rare minting errors. So let's begin by exploring the origin of the 1996 penny, produced at a time when the United States Mint had long since transitioned from 95% copper composition to a primarily zinc core with a thin copper plating, a change that began in 1982 due to the rising cost of copper, and the 1996 penny was meant to be just another in a long line of Lincoln cents that bore the iconic bust of the 16th president on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. But somewhere in the process, something went astonishingly wrong, and what emerged from the presses was a coin unlike any other, one that has been identified as bearing not one, not two, but a shocking sequence of errors, starting with a dramatic double die on the obverse, where Abraham Lincoln's profile, the word liberty, and even the date 1996 appear duplicated, shifted slightly, and visible without magnification, a telltale sign that the die used to strike the coin had been impressed more than once in misaligned positions, a known and documented minting anomaly but one that is rare to this degree of clarity. And adding to the drama is a misalignment in the die striking process itself, where the obverse and reverse designs do not match up in perfect alignment, creating a rotation of several degrees between the two faces of the coin, known as a rotated die strike. And this is where collectors start to get excited, because any coin that shows a well-preserved rotated die error immediately rises in desirability. But we're only just beginning, because the planchet, the blank metal disc from which the coin is struck, appears in this case to have not only been struck multiple times, possibly 3 times in what experts call a triple strike, but also may not have been the proper planchet to begin with metallurgical analysis showing deviations in metal content that suggest it may have been struck on a transitional or experimental blank, one containing more copper than expected for a 1996 cent, perhaps even a leftover blank from the pre-1982 era or from a foreign coin planchet accidentally fed into the US Mint system. And these kinds of composition errors are incredibly rare because of the controls and security at minting facilities, which makes the presence of such a coin even more shocking. And still we go deeper, because this same specimen has also displayed signs of broad striking, a mint error where the collar die that shapes the edge of the coin fails to engage properly, allowing the metal to spread outward during the strike and creating a wider, thinner coin with distorted features. And when you see a coin that has a doubled die, a rotated strike, an off metal composition, and a broad strike, all in one piece, you start to understand why it might be worth not hundreds or thousands, but millions. And this particular coin's value only skyrocketed when it was sent to a third-party grading service and came back with one of the highest grades possible for a mint error coin, indicating not only the presence of the errors but their clarity and the exceptional preservation of the coin itself. And all of this makes the coin one of a kind. And as we know in collecting, rarity drives value, but uniqueness creates legends. and this coin has become the stuff of legend, changing hands in private sales, featured in top-tier numismatic exhibitions, and even becoming the subject of academic study, as numismatists try to understand how so many errors could exist in a single coin, and theories abound, with some suggesting it was a result of multiple systemic failures during a production shift, possibly involving maintenance procedures or a test run gone awry, while others believe it may have been the product of intentional experimentation that was never meant to reach circulation but somehow escaped the mint's quality control and made its way into the public sphere, where it lay undiscovered for years until an eagle-eyed coin hunter spotted the abnormalities and submitted it for authentication, and what followed was a frenzy of analysis, media attention, and skyrocketing valuations that culminated in the now famous $31 million appraisal, a number that seems outrageous until you realize how unprecedented the coin is in the world of modern minting, and as always happens in the coin world, the fame of one coin causes people to start checking their own collections, their change jars, and their forgotten rolls of pennies, hoping to find the next error masterpiece, and indeed, since this coin surfaced, other 1996 cents have been submitted for review, with minor errors popping up here and there, but nothing even approaching the magnitude of this once-in-a-lifetime specimen, and its story has inspired collectors of all ages to look more closely, to learn the signs of valuable errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, cuds, repunched mint marks, and other anomalies that, while often subtle, can transform a common coin into a rare treasure, and it has also fueled increased interest in coin grading, authentication, and investment, with rare error coins now seen as viable assets in high-value portfolios, sought not only for their beauty and rarity but also for their potential to appreciate in value over time, especially as more collectors enter the space and the supply of high-grade errors remains extremely limited, and this fascination with error coins is not new, but the 1996 1-cent $31 million specimen has taken it to new heights, reminding everyone that sometimes, the most valuable things are hiding in plain sight, and that 1 cent, when touched by the improbable dance of machinery, metal, and momentary misalignment, can become a financial powerhouse and a historical artifact, all at once, and so we encourage you, our valued viewers and fellow treasure seekers, to stay curious, stay observant, and never underestimate the potential value of what you hold in your hand, because you just might be the next person to uncover a small copper coin with a story worth millions. And if you've enjoyed this incredible journey into the world of high-value error coins and want to discover even more amazing stories like this one, be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and tap that bell icon so you never miss a moment of the coin collecting excitement we bring to you every week, where history, rarity, and fortune all come together in the smallest places imaginable.